The little island of Samso had high expectations for electric cars. In 1999, they tried to implement EVs for public services, but they failed.
The project we had in '99 was a disaster, mostly because they had a lot of technical problems.
But 14 years later, Samso is up to face those problems again. As part of its goal of being fossil fuel free, the island wants to re-implement electric cars. This time, they aim to reach 50% electric vehicles by 2020. To achieve this, the municipality introduced almost the same project that failed in 1999.
We have 8 electrical cars and 5 diesel cars. We're providing home care. Until now, it's a success. We have some practical problems, but we would like to continue. There's another one of our cars. You can always see where we are.
A failure turning into a potential success in less than 2 decades, the Energy Academy of Samso, who promotes the 2020 goal for electrical vehicles, explain how the same project has evolved.
The technology development of the cars. Yeah, so the cars now are just a lot better than those back then.
The Academy is confident that this renewed project could lead Samso to become a model society for EVs.
Samso is a very small community, which is 3,800 people. If we, on a small community base, look at more or less all the different kinds of businesses that use a car on a daily basis, as well as private people and municipality, then you could scale that up to a bigger society.
And they have faith that citizens will join to reach the goal. For now, only a few inhabitants are on board. Ann Albertson is one of those private owners, and for her, an EV made sense.
Both the idea of a fossil-free island, and because I work at the Energy Academy, and also because we have our own wind turbine at home, so we can make some of the electric ourselves.
Reintroducing this project 14 years later doesn't mean it is now free of obstacles.
Last time I was in Copenhagen and was coming back to Samsø. I was going out of electric in 300 meters before the quick charger in Kalundborg. And that was not good.
Here on Samsø we don't really have a short distance problem because the island is really not that big. So our problems with distance are mainly on the mainland.
But still, for those who are working on the island, the distance EVs can travel is simply not enough.
They promised when we got the car that they could take around 100 kilometers for every loading. But it seems that during the winter it's only about 50-60 kilometers a loading, and that gives some practical problems.
But increasing the distance an EV can drive might not be the focal point. Morten Rass, a professor at Aarhus University, thinks it's driving habits that should change.
Today you can have 600 kilometers on your traditional car with more or less no cost extra for the car. You can have electric vehicles where you only have like the third of it with a very high cost involved. So maybe the way of solving the problem is to look at the use of a car.
Most Danish households already have 2 vehicles. Morten Rass thinks families could replace one with an EV for daily commuting, while keeping a diesel car for longer distances. This could be one path to reach the EV's goal on Samso. The Energy Academy agrees that challenges lay ahead.
2020 is just one step on the way, and if we haven't reached 50% electric cars by then it's fine. We're just going to continue the work.
A work in progress that could succeed, but only on a small scale. Morten Rass doesn't believe Denmark can reach the goal in the next decade, but he has more faith in Samso.
It may be possible, and the reason is that Samsø have, I think it's 100+% renewable energy. Another reason is that they have a limit number of cars, so for those cars that are not leaving the island, it is possible.
Reaching the 2020 goal of having 50% of electrical vehicles on Samso will be a big challenge. Less than 15 electrical vehicles are roaming the island today. The question now is, will technology become advanced enough to meet the expectations of Samso citizens? This is Naila Morgan, DMJX.